Hey, hi, hello, how are you? I'm great, I hope you are too. In this video, I'll be explaining I-DLE's pre-release track, Wife. Today, you're gonna understand why the song was banned and couldn't be promoted. Despite sounding like an unserious and silly song, the lyrics and even the music video hold a lot of symbolism and concealed meanings. Before we begin, I'd like to say that this song has many innuendos, so if you don't feel comfortable around suggestive and explicit topics, feel free to leave, okay? Without further ado, let's start. First of all, let's talk about the concept, the quintuplets. They are all wearing the same outfits, wigs, and makeup. This is an analogy to how society views women, as if they were all the same. The W from the word wife written on their shirt is written with the W from the Korean won symbol, which is the national currency of South Korea. This can mean a lot of things, but I'll talk about two. The first one is the salary gap between men and women, which I don't even have to talk about. I'm just gonna put it on the screen. The second one is a bit more leaning toward the title of the song, Wife. In South Korea, women tend to get way fewer opportunities once they are married, and even those who are already working are the first ones to be considered for a layoff. The members wear the same uniform outfits and wigs in the music video to create the image of a standardized wife. It is also noticeable that the bob-cut wig they are wearing symbolizes an independent woman, and it is also a rebellion against the long hair that emphasizes the traditional wife image. The music video starts with Shuhua doing a cartwheel. The cartwheel itself doesn't hold too much meaning in this context. However, the person who did it does. Shuhua loves to do cartwheels. She does it in concerts, encores, performances, etc. This song talks about many things, one of them being women's willpower and freedom. The cartwheel represents how carefree and unconcerned Shuhua is about what others may think of her, and that's how everyone, especially women, should be despite the hardships and gender inequality in society. I cook cream soup, tastes coca-loco. This part has two meanings. The first one is a reference to the image of a perfect wife. People tend to have a stereotypical idea of what it means to be a wife. A woman who cooks, cleans, and does everything to please their husband, and that's it. This is a satirical take on the traditional gender roles that consider women to be useful only after they are married. The second meaning is a bit more naughty. Coco Loco means crazy coconut in Spanish, and it is a cocktail made by mixing vodka, tequila, rum, whiskey, etc. With coconut water in a fresh coconut, however, Coco Loco is also slang for the male genital, and cream soup is reminiscent of male ejaculation. I cook cream soup taste is Coco Loco, just means that Soyeon can fully satisfy her partner sexually, and the taste as well. You already know it. Just because women do things such as cleaning, cooking, taking care of the house, etc., they are considered good partners by society who firmly believe that women should be housewives and nothing more than that. This makes their partner want to marry them. However, the girls don't want it. They use the third person of speech when referring to themselves. And that is because whenever women don't act like their partners expect them to, they call them crazy, insane, and more. In this case, the girls are speaking up against these problems, so they are insulting them. The sort of mumbling part is censorship for the insults that women listen to daily. Again, a stereotypical wife activity, and by using words such as twinkle, they highlight how the woman in these relationships must do everything exceptionally, while also illustrating how these relationship dynamics are one-sided. Now that the girls are speaking their minds, the man wants to end the relationship, but Soyeon is telling him that even if he doesn't want to be involved with her anymore, he will have to. After all, she's just doing the same thing as he did to her. Her husband could be drooling with hunger or lust, but drooling can also happen when someone is poisoned. Based on what Soyeon says later, this man seems to be the same man that they killed in Tomboy. The way Soyeon asks him to wipe his saliva, creating a babysitting scenario, suggests a childish figure, which connects with the next line. Here, Soyeon, still with the childish-like scenario created, asks her husband if his daddy knows that he's a grown-up now. But why is she saying that? Some men are taught by their fathers how to act around and towards women, and most of the time, they are taught following the old societal ways, which consider women inferior. At the end of Soyeon's part, she kind of twerks, evoking once again a portrayal of freedom of expression, depicting an independent woman who refuses to conform to the passive wife stereotypes earlier depicted in the lyrics. Minnie also knows that he's a grown-up now, so she's flirting with him and plans on doing more than that. The cake she baked is just a metaphorical way to say that she's into him, but she still wants more. Here she used the word
따먹어줘,
which means to pick and eat, but it also means to fuck someone, and cherry is slang for the female genital. Yes, it's very explicit. This is just a joke on the stereotypical wife activity where the wife asks the husband to try the food while preparing it. If you pay attention to Minnie's expression, you'll see that after saying the last sentence, she looks and sounds very serious. And that is because, once again, she doesn't want to be the stereotypical wife that society pictures women to be. This part is purely visual, and it's Miyeon and the other girls dancing to the lyrics. And if you look at them, especially Miyeon, you can see that they are not even lip-syncing to the song. Another analogy to how women have no voice in the marriages that are being displayed in the song. A bit further on, someone steps on them, representing the tyrannical forces that seek to suppress and dominate women, embodying a visual metaphor for the oppressive nature of the societal expectations imposed upon them. I'm not sure if that's what they meant, but this word is just sort of like an onomatopoeia to represent a cute sound that comes out of one's mouth, which connects to the next part. I think this is pretty obvious, but if you didn't get it, it's a reference to a part of a sexual relationship. Sorry, can't go into details. Again, an onomatopoeia, and this one they've used before. Onomatopoeia of exclamation, and it also represents cold and shivering. Usually, after ejaculating, men tend to get chills. This is probably a reference to the cleaning that happens after a sexual relationship. Another satirical take on gender roles. It's very common, especially for males, to pay attention and get involved with women just because of their bodies and nothing else, basically objectifying them. It's a symbolic way of saying that yes, you can touch me, but you won't have me. A possible small reference to Queen Card, where they say that they are pretty from head to toe. And the meaning is quite obvious. The husband should admire her body from head to toe. Now that she's taught the husband what and how to do it, maybe the husband will be able to follow through. It can also be a literal thing, as in sex positions. The word they used here literally means to do something well, but it's also slang for being good in bed. Therefore, if he's good in bed, Miyeon will sing a beautiful song, or in other words, be satisfied. Here they use the sentence, like a mermaid in the water. This sentence is usually used with the word fish instead of mermaid, and it is used to describe someone or something that is well suited to an environment or circumstance. In this case, Miyeon is suited to dance beautifully in the water, as she's an idol, and can dance well, and is also as beautiful as a mermaid. Pretty much what I already said, but if he does it well in bed, then she'll be satisfied. Okay, this I'll leave to your imagination. The wives that were depicted in the lyrics and music video are dolls whose work is to solely live for their husbands. In this sense, they make their husbands feel so high all the time that is almost a lie. Following this, they state that they don't want to be a wife. In this part, they complete their rebellion as they state that they don't want to be a wife, at least not the one that society expects them to be. This is the only part where they are lip-syncing to the song, indicating that now their voices must be heard. In the end, they dance freely and in a silly manner. It simply means that after this revolution, they are free from the ties that society put upon women. Some people think that wife is degrading housewives, but is it? Wife presents a critique of patriarchy through the idea of a traditional wife, as conceived by society. The song does not intend to criticize women or their independent choice to embrace the traditional role of a wife, which aligns with a key principle of feminism, individual empowerment. It is not a reproach aimed at women autonomously choosing the traditional role of a wife, but rather it speaks to the poignant reality of women coerced into such roles against their volition. The critique within the song doesn't center on the fact of being a wife per se. Rather, it addresses the objectionable aspect of being compelled or coerced into assuming that role. Now, to wrap everything up, let's talk about a couple of things. First, the wigs. I said it in my Super Lady video, but I believe that the album logo was based on the movie The Incredibles, in which there's a character called Edna who has a bob exactly like that. Edna has glasses, a bob, and an exaggerated accent, but she's also an independent professional capable of understanding the needs of her friends and always ready to share her wisdom. A fun thing was that when the movies came out, Edna and the protagonist, Mrs. Incredible, were criticized for somewhat spreading feminist ideas. Second thing, a lot of people say that it's a reach to call this a feminist song, etc. However, did you notice how this song talks very explicitly about sexuality? By making heavy use of provocative innuendos, the girls not only mock the overtly sexual male gaze, but also talk about women's sensuality. While it's very common for men to talk about their sexual desires, women are badly overlooked when they express any of it. Many cultures view female sexuality as being subordinate to male sexuality, and as something to be controlled through restrictions on female behavior. I-DLE is ending all of this, so no, it's not a reach. You just need to see things through a new perspective. There are no theories for this song, unfortunately, so I'll be ending the video here. Thank you so much for watching. It was very fun making this video. I tried to be as polite as I could be while talking about the explicit topics, so I hope everybody will like it. Please consider leaving a like, a comment, and subscribing.